Howdy, my name is Michael Salyer, and I was born on a cold, cold winter night on a Friday, December 16th, 1966. I was born in Bayshore Hospital in Pasadena, right across the street from Gilley's. For those of you too young who don't know what Gilley was, please ask your parents. As far as traveling, I've done quite a bit of traveling in my life. I was born here in the Houston area. I was raised around here. But I also grew up too in California in the Bay Area. Still have a lot of family out there. My mom's side is out there. When I joined the Air Force, I got to come back to Texas for a little bit, and then on to Denver for my training, and finally on to South Dakota, exciting, for my duty station. After I left the Air Force, I lived in Seattle for about 3 years, got divorced, and moved back to Texas in about 1994. And I've been here ever since. As far as traveling for pleasure, I've probably seen at least 3/4 of our states just through driving around. I love driving cross country. As far as foreign countries, I've been to Mexico, Canada, Japan, Jamaica, Greece, Italy, Montenegro, beautiful country, my new favorite country, Spain and France. Those last countries, Greece to France, was on a cruise last year with some friends. Best time of my life, was just phenomenal. Okay, a little story about me when I was little. Actually, this weekend I was on vacation. My uncle reminded me of the story again. I was about 6. We were at the beach in California. My mom asked my 2 uncles to watch me. They weren't that much older than me. They were teenagers. And of course, teenagers, well, we were all dumb when they were that age. They didn't watch me very well. I ended up kind of just wandering down the beach, just playing in the waves, playing in the sand, having a good time, not a care in the world. So my mom, of course, freaked out when she got back, and my 2 uncles didn't know where I was. So after about an hour of searching, they finally found me. One of the problems is, as a kid, I was a towhead blonde, just like every other single kid in California. So it took a while to distinguish me to actually find me. But my mom was hysterical. They were in trouble. I was a happy camper playing in the sand. Most embarrassing story. Probably be I was a senior in high school. I was dating a girl at another local high school. And so a bunch of my buddies went over there after ours, or during the 7th period. We were all off that period to go hang out with her and go see her. Well, we hung out, and as I was leaving, I got a flat tire. And being an idiot teenager, as I mentioned earlier, I didn't have the proper tools to change my car out or change my tire out. So I basically had to have a buddy call AAA. So as we go back in the school office to call, I get back. My friends, because they're friends and jerks and teens, basically had a big sign out that said, help, call police, and had broken into the road flares and were lighting flares around my car. So of course I got pissed at them, put the flares out, put everything back up, waiting for the AAA guy to come. Realized I should probably call my work to make sure that, if I'm late, let them know that I might be a little bit late. So anyway, I go back to the office to call, and people are coming out of their cubicles, and they're like, "What's that smell? It smells like smoke." Well, apparently, I dripped some of the flare onto my shoelace, and it was actually smoldering. So some guy sees this, a kid, runs out into the quad yelling, "Hey, this guy's shoes are on fire." So that was a pretty low point, and kind of snuck out the back without being seen too much. I'd say favorite color, probably blue. I don't know why. It's just a cool, relaxing color. Not today, but most of my wardrobe usually is blue. I just always love the color. It seems very, very calming to me. Favorite movie? Some of you younger might not have heard of this, but Steve Martin's The Jerk. Highly recommend it. It's an incredibly stupid movie, but I love it. I laugh every time I see it. Most of the quotes from the movie I know by heart, and most of them apply to just about any situation you can think of. So go rent The Jerk. You'll like it. Favorite food is, if chips and salsa is considered a food, that'd be my favorite food. I could probably eat my weight in food if I had to, in chips and salsa if I had to, and sometimes I feel like I actually have. Even after I have a full meal, if they're in front of me, I'm still going to eat them because they're chips and salsa. Probably, let's see, in school struggling would be languages. I was never good at rote memorization. That sit here, list, learn these 30 terms, learn these 50 terms. I just couldn't do it. My memory didn't really work that way too. Always struggle with that. As far as pet peeves, I actually have two. My first one is I fly quite a bit. I don't like people that carry on their luggage. It's just, I know they don't want to check it. For their convenience, it's slowing me down, boarding and deplaning, and telling me I got to put my stuff under my seat just because small bags don't go up there. Anyway, I don't like those people. Just kidding, they're fine. Another thing is pumpkin spice. You'll see it come fall, the pumpkin spice lattes, coffees, whatever. There is no such thing as pumpkin spice. Ever tried raw pumpkin? It has no flavor. It's all a marketing thing. What you're tasting is nutmeg. I like nutmeg, but it's not pumpkin spice. Hobbies, I like to run, bike, swim, kayak, walk, read, video games. Obviously, those outdoor activities I don't do as much during the summertime because, well, obvious reasons, it sucks here in the summertime. In school, for as languages, I mentioned earlier, I tried both French and Spanish and really got no good results at either one, so I'll never be a linguist. Now, as far as what word describes me, if smartass is one word, that would be it. If not, we'll go with sarcastic, so either one of those. And probably the most influential person on my life was my stepfather. He was a great man. My mom started dating him when I was probably 8. Unfortunately, he just passed away about 5 years ago, so I knew him most of my life. He would teach me so much, and not only that, he would sometimes not give me a direct answer. He would ask me questions to help guide me to the correct answer and not just tell me what the answer is to. So he taught me a lot of things, but taught me how to think too, most importantly. What kind of animal I'd be? I'd probably say a hawk. One, because I do love flying, and two, they're just a damn cool animal. If I had $100, assuming this is found money and not like earmarked for something else, I'd probably just take my friends out for a round of drinks. Now, if I had $1 million, I would take my friends out for dinner and drinks, and then probably do something like smart and adult-like, put 90% away for a nice nest egg for retirement, and then probably the other 10% go on a nice vacation, take my family on a vacation, just somewhere exotic we've never been before. Probably in 10 years, I'd like to be in management my company. It's a good company. I don't see myself leaving, so I definitely want to stay there, but and definitely look at the management track for that company. My dream job, probably be an astronaut. I mean, I'd love to be. That sounds cool. I love it. I mean, I'd probably be crap my pants scared most of the time, but I think the whole thing going to space would be pretty awesome. And finally, my dream location is Australia. I've always wanted to go there, even since I was a kid, been on my bucket list, even before I knew what a bucket list was. So fortunately, I'm going with my crew that I went to Europe last year, my cruise crew. We're going to New Zealand and Australia next March, so kind of excited about that. So anyway, my name is Michael Salyer, and thank you for listening to my speech.